Hi guys, welcome back. It's Tommy with another epic game taken here from the Team Liquid Star League, as we have spawning here in the upper right. In the yellow it is Showtime from Germany, and his opponent spawning here in the lower left in the purple it is MARU. So quite an interesting game here on Data C, as you can see from the timer, a very long game here in between them. Yeah, let's just check their build orders really quick, as we have the normal build order here by MARU is going into a supply depot, is very likely going to continue with his barracks. Let's check Showtime really quick. He's also adding here his pylon to a very interesting location, and very likely, yes indeed, he's going to continue with his gateway, perhaps creating here a corridor for those probes, just like in Broodwar. Maybe they will get a little bit of a boost here just to mine that gas a little bit faster. So yeah, let's just see. The next move here by Showtime is actually moving out, of course, scouting the proximity for any proxy barracks by MARU, but yeah, no such thing by MARU. Actually, I didn't see him go for a long time for any proxy barracks. Just recently in the grand finals there is one game where he actually went for proxy versus SERRAL. Actually, in this I'm also have it casted here onto my channel, so the grand final is also here available onto this channel, MARU versus SERRAL. But yeah, let's just get back into this game. Let's just check the build order once again, as the barracks is about to get finished. Very likely we're going to be seeing a Reaper first by him, as Showtime is also going up here for his next expansion point. The first gateway is up, no zealots yet being produced. We actually see the cybernetic score, and a quite interesting location, like I told you, for Showtime not opting to block here the ramp, his entrance, actually going for his buildings into his main, going for that second gas. And yeah, let's just see what the continuation is going to be here. Is he going for a Twilight Council? Is he going for a Stargate? This is always the question here for the Protoss versus the Terran and versus the Zergs. And in the meantime, MARU taking here his expansion, also having a Marine already out, scouting the proximity, of course, a little bit, because it could have also been a proxy Stargate into this location. Even another proxy double gateway could also be an option here for Showtime. But the pretty standard open up here by both players, so no early aggression by them, as MARU is also going here for his factory, and he might continue with that Starport, sorry, just to add those medivacs, of course, the much needed medivacs, and even the Vikings against any Colossi gameplay here by Showtime. So yeah, standard open up here, nothing out of the ordinary yet. Both players are preparing their macro orientated game, and we see a nice hidden Stargate here by Showtime. Everything is connected to this one pylon, as it is sometimes also known as Artosis pylon here, so Showtime needs to be very careful. So yeah, let's have a look what the next steps are going to be here, as more and more workers are of course being spawned here by both players. There's an orbital here for MARU being created, and we also see the first Hellions being produced by him, double Hellions for this reactor. So MARU might try to move out and to damage the economy very early here by the Protoss with the two Hellions. He might even continue into more damaging units. Of course, we see some Widow Mines, so the Widow Mines will very likely enter a medivac, as the one adept is being pushed back, a second adept here as well. So Showtime tries, of course, to scout the proximity to see exactly what is happening, but MARU very fast with his units, especially those Hellions, so a shade off has to happen here. Actually, one adept taking out a Hellion, so that is quite a strong pickup here by Showtime. Of course, losing two adepts versus one Hellion. Pretty interesting stuff here, and all of a sudden lots and lots of gateways are being produced here by Showtime, so we might see a timing push by him, as the first Oracle is also here out on the map. So Showtime really wanting to attack MARU's economy very quickly here. Let's have a look if this Oracle is going to be successful. Some Widow Mines will of course be prepared as a defensive matrix here, but yeah, MARU is actually the one moving out, being aggressive. The one Oracle is going to step here forward, or is it losing some energy into that field? Yeah, let's have a look. Actually, Showtime, very nice gameplay here by him, actually adding this one Phoenix, for forcing MARU into dropping those mines on the ground. So very nice gameplay here by Showtime with his Phoenix, as he's now forcing actually MARU back. So MARU not really getting any connections with those mines with his Hellions as well, so quite a strong early game here by Showtime. As yeah, in come this one Viking, and Viking of course very strong, but the two Phoenixes are here to fend this off. So both players are just checking each other out, checking the water here, as we see another command center for MARU. Same time Showtime also expanding into this location, so really great gameplay, nice reaction. Of course, both players know the timings of any push-outs, and these Phoenixes might get a great pickup here against this one Helen. Nice job, a very aggressive presence here by Showtime, as he's even damaging this one Viking. And yeah, at the same time the Oracle is also moving out, only being used as scouting purposes, so no attacks yet by this one Oracle versus MARU. And yeah, we still see those Phoenixes, 4 of them actually move out. They might pick up this one Medivac. The mines have to be revealed very soon, so in comes this one Oracle. And yeah, the Medivac already taking quite some damage, so these mines right here are pretty much exposed if they're getting revealed. Nice job here, but MARU comes in with some Marines. There's just 2 now Phoenixes being left, actually 3. The second one is also being taken out, and this one also taking quite some damage. But in the end, the important units, those Widow mines, have been taken out here by Showtime, and in the end he's also very likely going to take out this empty Medivac. So pretty great pickups here by Showtime. MARU sacrificing this one Medivac just to have vision. We have many more gateways go out here for Showtime, as you also have a robotics facility bay with those upgrades being also done here. The speed for the Zealots, so we might see a straight transition into gateway units. Massive amounts of Zealots, and those Stalkers, those blinking Stalkers, seems to be the new meta for any Protoss versus the Terran. Great connection this time by those Widow mines. A nice Oracle is also being taken out, so MARU responding as well with great defenses here versus the Protoss, as slowly but steadily we're closing in towards the 10-minute mark. So yeah, quite interesting early game here by both players. Nice defenses, nice reaction, nice timings by them, as now we indeed see a massive production here of gateways from Showtime. And yeah, this is very likely going to indicate to us that it is indeed going for even some Colossi, could be a possibility, some Immortals, but yeah, mass Stalkers, like I told you, seems to be the new meta for the Protosses, even against the Zerg as well. So blinking Stalkers, very strong. But of course you have to be very good at microing. And yeah, we see now those Phoenixes chill out here on the map. We also see a Crab Beetle, and yeah, the one observer is also moving here forward towards the base from MARU. So yeah, MARU calling more and more workers. Just check the worker count, 62 for MARU, 73 for Showtime. As yeah, the first Zealots also appear here on the map. Still massive amounts of Zealots, so no Stalkers yet for Showtime. As a Colossi, the first Colossi is being produced, and we even have a Templar Archives, so we might see some High Templars with Storm, as one Marine is getting shooted here in the air. This is floating away onto the map. So yeah, the upgrades are also being finished by MARU, so this might indicate to us that he will very likely going to try to move out with his infantry. Range is being done for those Colossi, Blink is being done, so the important Blink spell, as it's getting chrono boosted out, even weapons 1. So yeah, nice job here by both players. MARU preparing a more defensive gameplay here versus his opponent. He's actually inviting Showtime to attack with his Zealots. Very beautiful looking Zealots here with this Colossus. And yeah, let's have a look if Showtime is indeed going to be the one attacking here versus MARU, as we also have one Archon. So yeah, let's have a look what exactly is going to happen here. MARU at the same time also scanning the area. He of course wants to take out those observers. He might also try to move out. He has quite a large amount of Medivacs. He could split those Medivacs into 2 task force into attacking the economy from Showtime, but Showtime also very close by with an interesting unit composition here. Massive amounts of Zealots with Colossi, very rarely seen. You actually see blinking Stalkers, but Showtime, I'm sure he knows exactly what he's doing. Mass Zealots it is indeed for him with Colossi. Quite interesting. Let's have a look if he's indeed going to be engaging, or perhaps he's waiting for more reinforcements, as those units look very beautifully here on the ground. So infantry versus infantry from the Protoss with some Archons. Slowly but steadily comes the observer, but yes, indeed we do have Widow mines on the ground, so of course they can be very deadly. But yeah, those the observer giving important information, and I believe MARU is going to go into more and more heavily those Vikings. But yeah, only one Viking in the air. Those Colossi really dealing great amount of splash damage towards the infantry from MARU, so he has to heal up his units, as the first Vikings are of course in the air. So this is where those important Stalkers will be needed. We still see 3 Colossi, 1 Stalker, no, it's actually 4, and the Phoenixes. So the Phoenixes could also be the counter towards those Vikings, as we might see a strong engagement now here into this other expansion point. So Showtime buying important time for his expansions, as he's now finally going to retreat into a new area, into a new location, and he's moving forward with his units. Yeah, let's have a look if he's indeed going to attack here. No observer into this location. MARU is repositioning those mines. Interesting enough, he's sending out the first zealots in the front, forced to soak up the first damage. With the income, the Vikings and some SCVs have already been fallen against the splash damage from those siege tanks. Let's have a look what the next plans are here for Showtime, as he's also adding a prism, so he might teleport more and more units towards the main from the MARU. Yeah, let's see what's going to happen here. Those Colossi are really, really scary against any Terran infantry. Of course, the tanks are much needed, the mines as well, as still Showtime is roaming around. But we have here the first prism coming forward with the tanks, so with the zealots on the ground. And yeah, just one zealot being ready here to engage, so a little bit of a maneuver here by Showtime, but the SCVs actually come forward to repair this. So this will of course be held by MARU, but this one hero zealot being left alone, he might snap some SCVs here. In the end, in comes the infantry, but the real damage is of course happening here. We have actually disruptors with those disruptor shots, and the Archons are lastly here in the front, dealing so much splash damage against the units. But we have EMP now. EMP is being available here for MARU, so of course EMP, a much needed spell by those snipers versus the Protoss army. And yeah, still great range here for those Colossi. Very, very scary unit, like I told you. And the Stalkers are blinking out, but the real damage dealers are of course the Colossi, the Oracles, actually disruptors on the ground. So yeah, let's see what MARU is going to be doing. Perhaps he's trying a counter here with some medivacs, with some infantry towards the main from Showtime, but 13 SCVs have already been killed, so quite a early great game here by Showtime, as he's showing us the strengths out of those Colossi. More and more are being damaged here. Nice pickup with those Phoenixes. We have Showtime pretty much engaging here in the front against the splash damage, but in the end EMP is going to of course force him back. The Vikings in the air are also very good, but we see now the advanced technology here out of the Protosses, as he's being able to transfer those zealots from home. And once again, I believe he's going to pretty much commit. The splash damage is actually working here against MARU. So much splash damage is being taken by those SCVs. The zealots are nicely in the front. The great disruptor shots here versus MARU, but the disruptors are a little bit exposed, and now the Stalkers finally do get some good connections. And yeah, MARU pretty much under siege. He has to defend here very, very nicely, as 23 SCVs have already fallen here for MARU. So quite an interesting strategy here by Showtime. Zealots in the front, some observers to see the mines, and now the Stalkers just to deal against those Vikings. And disruptors of course really, really strong. So MARU pretty much struggling here against this nice unit composition. And great disruptor shots here by Showtime, just showing us so much splash damage here. Colossi and disruptor shots seems to be the answer from the Protosses versus the infantry from MARU. Yeah, not that many Stalkers, actually pretty heavily into those zealots. Once again, zealots in the front, very, very tanky here with those upgrades, with that speed, charging straight towards those tanks. More and more zealots are falling, and this could be actually the game deciding move. But yeah, those tanks in the back are still nicely being guarded. Still a great disruptor shot, once again taking out so much of that infantry, and once again 7 workers have been killed. So if this continues like this, MARU is going to be struggling more and more. His economy is going to fall more and more, as Showtime just has so many bases around the map. So once again, in come the Colossi into range, and the disruptor shots once again dealing damage. So nice pickups here by Showtime. A very, very early good game here by the German player, as he's teleporting more and more units, and we actually have massive amounts of Archons being spawned. So the Archons of course very tanky, but he needs to be careful against those sniper EMP shots, as Showtime decides to split his troops. Perhaps he's going to attack on 2 bases very soon, and in comes his Sauron. But there's a great beeline here being fought by MARU. The Archons aren't really getting any good connections. Finally in they come, but they eat the EMP straight out of the snipers. And yeah, MARU holding his ground, holding his position, as that was absolutely a little bit of a mistake here by Showtime, and he's now even nicely kiting back and forward. MARU picks up his units, and perhaps he's going to try for a counter. No, he just of course has to stay home into defending against so much aggression here by the German player. Really, really great early game by Showtime. And in the meantime, of course, just like many Protosses, he decides to expand into this location. Once again, he's blinking here forward very aggressively, but the EMP once again is being casted. So EMP versus disruptor shots. What a great game we have here. A nice strategy game. Once again, MARU has to pick up, and Showtime at 103 workers. Very, very rarely seen here. Such a great economy for him, and pretty much relying onto those disruptor shots and to those Colossi. So really, really strong stuff here by him, as he just keeps expanding all over the map, just keeps on depleting those mineral fields. very nice job just adding more and more of those range units versus MARU. So yeah, in the halftime of this game, but yeah, those EMPs just straight great here for MARU against so much of that Protoss unit here. Yeah, what is happening here? I believe a unit has been shot down. It would have been a zealot. Some zealots are still roaming around here into this location, but yeah, the infantry is there to respond. So yeah, 103 workers like I told you versus 75. MARU really has to be careful, and those zealots are really fast on the ground. Very strong. MARU has to reposition. In come the zealots, but yeah, that planetary seems to be the answer now against so many zealots on the ground. An army of beautiful zealots here in the yellow as Showtime just keeps taking on expansion after expansion. Here is very soon going to send out some probes, but we have another strong engagement here. The Risotto shots are getting some good shots, but in the end the Vipers, sorry, the Vikings in the air will be able to take out some Colossi on the ground. So great job here by MARU, finally defending really well. Yes, perhaps Showtime was a little bit too greedy. He has 103 workers and yeah, quite a strong economy, but he needs to be careful as the army for MARU is pretty much overwhelming. The 100 versus 51, and now finally MARU finding the courage to move out here with his infantry, with his medivacs, taking out this one Nexus, going for the next Nexus. And we also see some BTs actually being spawned here, but there isn't turret. So yeah, MARU finding the confidence to move now out with his tanks, with his mines on the ground, as the counter is being already prepared here for Showtime, as Showtime is actually going to ignore this. Perhaps he's going to try and find a better position. He's also moving out with his Dark Templars into this area, still having 80 workers, so his economy now finally struggles as 23 workers have been killed, and MARU is going to send out more and more troops. But in the end the counter is also happening here on the ground, but the defenses are really strong for MARU as he has those tanks on the ground. He has the infantry still able here to hold the position, so expansion after expansion is getting taken out, and MARU dropping to 64 workers. So Showtime very likely has to reconnect, has to regroup his units. He has really heavily into those zealots, but yeah, those mine shots taking great damage here against those zealots, but they're still really strong with their upgrades. So we can see of course the upgrades here 3 to 3, so nice job here by Showtime, giving of course importance towards those upgrades, as he's also going to be able to gain. And so many zealots, I have rarely seen so many zealots by the Protoss here, so really looking very strong as MARU tries of course to find a better position, moving out, scanning the area, scanning for any units. And the income the zealots once again with a good flank this time, great flank. The tanks are pretty much exposed in the back, so income those tanks, the zealots, and yeah, great position here being found. MARU of course tries to find a better position for his infantry. Yes, nicely find this one, but the reinforcements have to pull here forward as the zealots are still pretty much alive. In the end, the EMP will take him out, but yeah, still so many zealots are being here left alive as Showtime actually pushes here forward. They're very cocky Nexus here. I don't know what exactly the meaning of this is, but it's just disrespecting here MARU a little bit. And let's have a look what the next steps are going to be. More and more units are being teleported here forward by Showtime, as this one tank could of course be in range of this Nexus. So a very aggressive Nexus being done here by Showtime, but of course this is not to disrespect MARU. This could be just to give the ability to teleport those units straight towards here, just to give more mobility towards the Protoss army. And let's have a look. MARU is not going to take anything of it. He really wants to snap this expansion as fast as possible here. So very cocky move by Showtime, but in the end this opponent was going to get cleared here very soon by Showtime, and Showtime just keeps sending out more and more of those gateway units. Finally he should be able to snap this one planetary fortress, as he's able now to push back into those disruptors. So no more Colossi as we're closing in towards the 20-minute mark. A very interesting strategy here by the German player. Massive amount of gateway units and supported by some disruptors, by some Colossi. Now the disruptor shots will be really good against the tanks, but no, in the end the tanks are too good and too tanky against those disruptors. So nice job here by MARU holding this position, defending really well, but Showtime could just send out wave after wave, and there it is, a teleportation is going to happen here. As the income Showtime, of course he has to defend this important strategic placement here, as MARU just slowly but steadily keeps pushing forward with his army. He has at 133 supplies, so quite a strong army versus Showtime here, as another nice disruptor shot is going to take out a little bit of that infantry. At the same time he's also roaming around with his zealots, but in comes the attack for MARU. Stim is up, he's attacking really nicely, but the disruptor shots will keep him at base, so the disruptor seems to be the answer by the Protoss. But yeah, in comes the infantry. The probes are pretty much exposed here, so 9 probes have been taken down. At the same time, SHOWTIME is regrouping. His units is coming forward with so many zealots, so much action going on left and right. But in the end, MARU is being able to take out this location as well. Still, he has 60 workers versus 83, as so many expansions are still up for SHOWTIME, and SHOWTIME not deciding to go for storms. He's going straight into those Archons, but hold on, there's still zealots being left alive here as he's attacking towards the expansion point from MARU. And yeah, MARU just pretty much has to rebuild that expansion over and over again. He still has those tanks on the ground, lots and lots of kills for those tanks. A Protoss multitasking, having more forces here on the ground, splitting his forces into 2 groups, even 3 task forces. But yeah, MARU holds his ground. He has those tanks as he's now going for the next strategic point, the next strategic base here, and he's moving forward slowly but steadily, attacking the economy from the Protoss. Let's have a look at the response from SHOWTIME. Nice EMP even being casted against those units, and there's that response. He has some units here. There are some tanks in the back. Let's have a look. Still Colossi once again, so the Colossi seems to be the answer. Nice kiting back and forward, those Colossi dealing splash damage against the units from MARU. So much damage being taken, but same time also EMP the answer from MARU. And another expansion is about to fall here, so sadly for SHOWTIME, his other task force didn't really engage here. It was just 3 tanks on mine. It could have been a great pickup, but yeah, MARU slowly but steadily regaining strength here into this game, coming back, attacking the economy, as still SHOWTIME, however, having 82 workers versus the 64, and in comes the attack with the Prison this time just to take care for those tanks. The tanks are nicely now being attacked by those zealots, lots and lots of zealots here on the ground, and an even greater position for those teleporting zealots in the back. The Colossi deal great amounts of splash damage, a nice group here of zealots, massive amounts of zealots, a great gameplay here by the German player as he finds a great spot to surround the units from MARU, and MARU pretty much under siege here as he's now sieging up in the back, so all of those tanks didn't really deal any damage. And yeah, even 13 workers have fallen, as quite a great reaction with that one Prism here in the back, going for a great surround versus MARU. And at the same time, SHOWTIME finds the time to expand all over the place as he's teleporting more and more of those Archons this time. So yeah, those zealots seems to be working out really well for him. Remember, they have to be upgraded 3-3, so quite a strong force here by the German player. And let's have a look, he's once again moving out, taking some great shots out of the tanks. The Colossi are still inbound as he's trying to find a high ground here, moving more forward. The Archons are also here as he's going for the production buildings, because he knows that the tanks have to siege up and siege down. And in the end, he will recall all of those units, or is he going to stay here? He's still very strong. Even one Colossi is moving here forward. And quite a aggressive gameplay here, very penetrating gameplay here by SHOWTIME versus MARU, showing his presence here, but in the end the units have to be teleported back home. So yeah, very aggressive gameplay. Of course, all of those things buying time for the economy for SHOWTIME here, as MARU also is taken here this planetary fortress. He has brought in some mules, but yeah, 52 workers versus 85, still it is. MARU takes expansion after expansion, but the same can be said here for SHOWTIME as well, as this is actually going to transition into some stalkers, but those zealots work out really well for him. And yeah, let's not forget the upgrades here also. MARU really heavily into those upgrades, quite a strong force, but SHOWTIME being the one who's attacking more, even having a Dark Templar here versus MARU. And MARU has no Raven, so he has to rely on those turrets, onto those scans perhaps. And yes, there it is, the scan. Yeah, let's have a look. Things have settled down a little bit as the reinforcements are getting called here by SHOWTIME. So quite a great game we have here. Nice back and forward game. MARU also countering this aggressive gameplay here by SHOWTIME. This is now going for the Liberators, a very aggressive blink here forward. But yeah, this one planetary also taking so much splash damages. Some units will be lost by SHOWTIME, and MARU feeling more confident. He's going to try to attack here. This expansion point is pretty much depleted, as he has to find a new location to attack. And yeah, this upper left part pretty much being left unpunished by MARU, so SHOWTIME can still mine from there as he's sending more and more of his units out. And one SCV might get taken out. The tanks are still present here, and let's have a look what the next moves are going to be here, as it could be a good flank, but in the end so many siege tanks on the ground for MARU. And yeah, let's not forget that he has EMP with the ghosts. Yeah, those disruptors will be the answer here for him. And in comes the counter finally. MARU perhaps going to find the strength to move here forward into this location to attack here with his infantry, with his tanks. But yeah, SHOWTIME just waiting for a good flank here and a great EMP. So he's being forced back. Nice EMPs from MARU against the shields from the Protoss as he's moving forward. But the counter is already happening here for SHOWTIME. Is heading straight towards this location with some DTs. This expansion taking quite some damage. The SCVs are repairing a bit, and the end is going to fall. At the same time, another counter here into this location, so many SCVs will fall here for MARU. One SCV after the other, 26 have fallen here as well. So much action happening here as MARU is also going for this other expansion. We have 33 workers only for MARU versus the 91 from SHOWTIME. So what a crazy game we have here in between the two pros. SHOWTIME going for a flank. He might get a good flank here versus the infantry, but no income the reinforcements. Still, however, the army from MARU is much higher than the army from SHOWTIME. But worker wise, SHOWTIME really having so many more workers than MARU here. So still anyone's game. Quite a exciting game here in between the two pros. As once again in comes the attack. A high ground is for the Protoss. Great EMPs once again. Nice attacks here. The tanks are taking so much damage out of the zealots. And yeah, nice EMP to push this back, but in the end the important units have been lost for MARU. Those tanks, now he's just kiting back and forward with Stim. Zealots are coming here straight on time. MARU is nicely kiting back and forward. Another aggressive move here forward by SHOWTIME. But yeah, that infantry is really strong with those medivacs in the back. So of course the disruptors will once again be the answer versus the infantry from MARU. So once again, this one expansion will be very likely cancelled by SHOWTIME. So what a crazy game we have here. Other expansion point also getting cancelled very soon. Actually, if he forgets to cancel this one, as those DTs, perhaps he was busy microing those DTs into this location. He also has blink, so he might blink here forward into the tanks. But no such thing by SHOWTIME yet. This is going to attack this expansion point. The tanks are coming forward. There is a scan available, so yeah, the DT will fall. So crazy game. We still have some long distance mining going on here by SHOWTIME, as he's now even opting to go for 2 more Colossi. And yeah, things finally have settled down a little bit. Most players now just preparing their defenses. Let's have a look at the worker counts. Only 26 workers here for MARU versus the 19 for SHOWTIME. And SHOWTIME even very likely going to blink here forward. Does he have vision? Yes indeed. Could have even walked those Colossi up, and now he's going for the production building. MARU is going to take quite some time to move forward, so much more mobile force here by SHOWTIME, as he's now also deciding to retreat. So he took out a barrack, he took out a command center, and he's just pretty much going to retreat now into the center of the map. So slowly but steadily all of the map is being mined out here for both players. Still anyone's game. Let's have a look. Of course, SHOWTIME is going to defend the strategic important points here onto this map. And yeah, more is getting mined. Even the gas looks purple here. Very beautiful purple gas here onto this map. Data C. And yeah, let's have a look. MARU has his tanks up, but like I told you, the Protoss army is much more mobile. Even the Colossi can walk towards those hills, I believe. And yeah, MARU nearby, but he's going to take quite some time to unsiege and siege. And here there are those ghosts here on the ground, the important unit to have with their backpacks. And yeah, let's have a look what exactly the next steps are going to be. Pretty much mined out map. As photon cannons are being added here by SHOWTIME. So let's see. In comes his very nicely looking army here with those Colossi, with those disruptors. Lots and lots of disruptors, of course, really strong against even the tanks, against even the infantry, of course. This is exactly why MARU is spreading those tanks. And yeah, lots and lots of scans go out to so many gateways. And yeah, let's see who's going to be the first attacking here. I believe SHOWTIME is going to find the strengths here, move forward with his zealots, nicely blinking forward, taking one tank, take a second tank. But there's so much EMP against those units. And yeah, the important units once again have been taken out, but the mine is also taking some good shots. One expansion going to fall very likely here, but so many SCVs will fall as well. And yeah, SHOWTIME has a successful submission here. As he moves forward with his units, he's taking out the command center. And he forced MARU to retreat a little bit, as still MARU has more of a supply versus SHOWTIME. But yeah, that's exactly why he's going to attack this location. There are those cannons up, and yeah, finally with feedbacks against all of those units. Nice Psionic Storm. Finally we see a Psionic Storm and yet another Psionic Storm, and from the back in comes SHOWTIME. The tanks have been sieged up. There's still cannons on the ground. There's still high Templars in the back. So let's see One more high tempers, but the storms have been casted in. There's so much splash damage is going to be added. The medivacs still have energy. Yet another great storm here by SHOWTIME. As his reinforcements are coming in from the back, so he's trying for us around. Great disruptor shots taking care of those tanks. So much splash damage. And the tanks have fallen, and now all of a sudden MARU is being surrounded, all of those units, but the EMP looks like he's going to keep him into this game. So many EMPs have been casted and so much damage against the shields. As SHOWTIME has to regroup army-wise. MARU still having more army here than SHOWTIME. SHOWTIME having more workers, but MARU looks like he's pretty much in command of this game. He's going to be able to snap more and more of those nexus here. Still good disruptor shots. With some good disruptor shots, SHOWTIME can stay into this game. Let's have a look at the Colossi in the back also there with the amounts of splash damage. But the EMPs from MARU are really strong. And yeah, 30 more probes have been killed. This nexus has fallen as well. But this one is still being pinned unpunished. SHOWTIME tries to go for a counter. And he's heading straight towards this base here. But yeah, MARU also has to retreat. Some disruptor shots on flank here, but Stim is going up with micro here by MARU as he's able to take out one, even the second Oracle. So nice job here by him, but at the same time SHOWTIME is able to snipe this one victory here. So let's have a look what's going to happen here as more and more is being done here, more and more damage is being done. Still MARU has this expansion here, but yeah, this one has been taken out, and MARU only mining for some small mineral fields here. He still has more army than his opponent. SHOWTIME tries to regroup and even counters here MARU with some DTs on the ground. Of course, waiting for MARU to show up. One tank might get snapped, great EMPs, but yeah, some stalkers will fall as well. A great disruptor shot taking out one disruptor, one marauder. Sorry, great high templar storm dealing so much splash damage. And it's still, I believe, anyone's game army wise. Still slowly but steadily SHOWTIME coming more forward here. He's trying to establish this base. No nukes yet have been used, but high templar storm need to keep this army at bay, and more reinforcements are pulling forward for SHOWTIME. But Steam is also going up here for MARU as he's able to take out the nexus, and yeah, income tech, great high templar storm. The tanks are in the back, it's just 3 of them. And yeah, 7 more probes have been lost here, as you can see slowly but steadily we're closing here towards the end of this game. SHOWTIME is still mining out of this location. I believe MARU still has no idea about this one. Perhaps he didn't scan it, but or perhaps he believes it's pretty much depleted. So quite a nice game here, nice macro game by SHOWTIME, as he has a better economy than his opponent. And yeah, where exactly is MARU mining from? I believe only this location and this one here. We have no expansion yet set up here, as SHOWTIME is of course trying to counter this nice EMPs once again. And very good stuff here by SHOWTIME. And yeah, once again he's blinking forward, he's taking out the tank, the second tank here as well. And yeah, nice shots here with the disruptor. Really nicely done here by him. So yeah, taking out the important units. Those tanks are of course really important here for the Terran, and now the Terran is pretty much staying back a little bit as the Protoss is still continuing to expand all over the map. His economy is still allowing him this. MARU with only 28 workers versus the 62 for SHOWTIME. And in comes MARU, but a little bit exposed infantry there, as the disruptors are nicely being spread out here around the map. One is smartly getting taken out, but that second disruptor shot taking out 2 tanks once again. Nice storm. The high ground is here for SHOWTIME as he's able to push back MARU a little bit. And the MARU slowly but steadily also moves forward. There are some orphans being produced. A great disruptor shot once again. I believe those disruptor shots, and the other Colossi as well, but mostly those disruptor shots have kept SHOWTIME into this game. And yeah, nice feedbacks even against the ghosts. And yeah, some tanks are still alive. 3 of them, actually 1 is being added here in the back. As in comes another disruptor shot, dealing damage towards those tanks. Yeah, those disruptor shots seems to be the perfect counter towards those tanks. And now high templar storms are also really strong, as MARU has dropped 2-3 tanks here, of course, to defend this location here. This is also moving forward, but yeah, the disruptors will keep him at bay. And yeah, more and more is being attacked. MARU even has to pick up the units with the medivacs to out-micro those disruptor shots, and more is being sent out, as the disruptors will of course very likely going to try to target the tanks. Storms have been casted, zealots are here as well, as so many stalkers as well. And this will be the last attack here, as the zealots are still tanking in the front, taking care of those tanks. The disruptor shots as well are being shot down. There's so much damage is being taken here by MARU left and right. The stalkers are blinking here forward, and not that much is being left here for MARU as he has to GG out. The German player takes this game quite a strong macro game here by him. And in the end, I believe those disruptors just kept him alive here, especially against the stimmed Marines, the stimmed Marauders. So disruptors with Colossi. Colossi also good, but I believe this disruptor is much better. And interesting enough, finally in the end, he also went for some storms. So yeah, what a nice macro game here by him. In the end, he won the game because as he attacked, he also expanded at the same time, and he pretty much expanded all over the map. The upper left part wasn't even touched here by MARU, so quite a strong force by SHOWTIME here versus MARU, and a very aggressive gameplay here. Let's not forget those zealots, those upgraded zealots, pretty much very strong in the front, sacrificing themselves for the Protoss main army, for the Protoss main goal here. So nice interesting strategy by SHOWTIME. No mass stalkers, no blinking. He actually went into massive amounts of zealots versus MARU, and it worked out really well. And yeah, in the end, he is able to take this nice game. So yeah, once again, I hope you enjoyed this game. We'll be seeing, of course, in the next replays. This is Tommy signing out.